Fury and Pure. That's a communication issue from Longshoe as Expression gets knocked around.
All right, tries to go back in time, and it looks like it's going to be just enough to keep him alive.
He doesn't go back in time, though. He goes back in space.
Oh, he goes back in, well, theoretical time.
No, he doesn't go back in time.
Well, then how does he regain some of his life?
He actually goes back in space and heals. That is actually what EKKO does. EKKO has nothing to do with time travel. He has to do with space travel and healing.
I'm not so sure.
He's a fraud, dude. He's a charlatan.
So you're saying he couldn't go back in time and then jump back forward in time in a different place?
That's called traveling in space, DoA. You just,
well, if we think.
You just described moving from one place to another through use of time travel, which is an incredibly stupid way to use time travel.
I'm not Doc Brown, I'm Doc DoA, all right? I didn't know you were such an expert on time travel.
No.
You're just an expert on space.
Space travel, that's right.
Space travel, I see.
But basically, EKKO's just a fraud. He tells everybody that he's a time traveler, but he just moves around. He teleports and heals and heals.
I see.
It's actually quite boring.
Does Tracer do that? Overwatch 2? Does she just travel in space?
Yes, she has nothing to do with time travel. The rest of the game doesn't rewind. That'd be really annoying for everyone else in the game. Could you imagine that, playing with like 10 other people and all of a sudden the game just rewinds like
it only rewinds
once every 3
her.
minutes?
See, it's a bubble of time centered upon the individual. You know?
That doesn't make any sense.
Sure, you just take your own time bubble with this technology and you travel back in your own personal time.
That's ridiculous. Why not just travel in space then?
Because it's so much less cool, man. Everybody travels in space. Not many people travel in time. Obviously, Raw catches Pure.
That was actually a good play from Expression. Great use of the EKKO ultimate right there to travel in space, but not time.
Yeah, right. He had a good time. Bot lane.
He had a good space.
Oh, chance of corruption on the Ixu. You know, the interesting thing is that, as we see Afrika take the dragon, is that in the EKKO cinematic, everything does go back in time.
I know.
Using it, but it doesn't happen in the game.
No, it doesn't. I told you, he's a charlatan.
I want the item in the game, or I want the item from the cinematic.
He's a fraud.
Apparently he is.
He staged that part of it, but when it actually came to the proof of his time-traveling abilities that we get in Summoner's Rift,
he invented the zero drive. Right? That's the thing.
Towards that lane, but it's just a matter of time, really. The chip damage really starting to
You mean a matter of space?
Yes, a matter of space. Done with you, EKKO, you fraudulent time traveler.
False advertising.
Look, he can jump around, he can flash and heal himself. I think that's pretty cool. Why did he have to lie about the time travel?
Maybe he could before, but now he just doesn't do it in the League of Legends. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, you really can't do what EKKO's trying to do in terms of time travel, because if you took yourself back like that, if you actually traveled back in time, wouldn't you just appear with like a second version of yourself right there? Because what happens to the original EKKO, right? Does he just get blown up? Does the other EKKO just come out of him?
I think that since they're in the same place, that one just like, by being in the same place at the same time, one just instantly dies, right?
Kind of like getting telefragged in Unreal Tournament back in the day.
Exactly, I think you just telefrag yourself.
I see. Poor EKKO, wow. Just repeatedly telefragged yourself. Now I get it. Makes more sense. There can be only one.
I think I'd be willing to telefrag myself for the ability to travel in time.
Well, as long as you didn't feel it.
Even if I did feel it.
Wow. Yikes.
Well, I could always choose not to do it, DoA.
I mean, the other option is that he does it and creates a new branch of the universe, basically. A new reality is created. So every time he uses it, reality branches off into two separate timelines. One where EKKO just dies, the other one where...
EKKO's really cluttering up the multiverse.
I know. Oh, wow, Mickey with that Q. But yeah, he is. That's the other option. That EKKO is just creating a bunch of unnecessary timelines where he dies.
Wow, somebody's gonna have to clean that up someday.
I know, right? Sometime that's all gonna like get messed up. It's all gonna come together.